All right, guys, I'm going to show you guys how to set up your websites. First off, I sent an email to you guys um, that is going to explain how you guys are logging in, uh, your passwords and everything for being able to access. Okay, so I'm using my website as an example. I've created accounts for all of you guys to load up to FTP. So at this point, you guys should have a completed website with multiple web pages that you all have linked. They should be in one location. So if you're using Dreamweaver or Atom, you should have one folder that is holding all of your stuff. Okay, your main page needs to be labeled as index.html. Most of you guys all have that, so you should have no problems. Okay, once you get to that point, the website, if we are going to it, is lickingheights.org, which you're going to see that there's nothing in there. Your last name is actually a subdomain, so Licking Heights is actually a subdomain of the org, and then in front of it, instead of doing www dot, you will put your last name. So, like for me, walters.lickingheights.org. Okay. If I had a last name that was the same as someone else in the class, then it's going to be my last name plus the first letter of my first name. Okay, so walters.lickingheights.org. When I go in here, I have nothing on there. Okay, you guys should end up having this. That's because you actually have to load the files up. So I'm going to walk through that process. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to open up Filezilla. It should be on your desktop, and you're going to get this. So just to kind of orient you, we are going to be entering information in here for a host, username, password, and port. And we're going to connect. FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol. Basically what it is I have created the domain, lickingheights.org. I've created subdomains for all of you and password protected it, so you're the only one who can edit your stuff outside of me or delete your account. Okay. So when you log in with your username and with your password, it's going to open up your subdomain folder inside that domain. Okay, that is the one that you'll have access to. What you're going to need to do is to move all of your files that you have in that one folder into the FTP site. And then once it syncs up, you'll be able to access your website, not just on your desktop, but on your cell phones. You can see what it actually looks like on different devices when you turn it from portrait to landscape. So you can see if there's any redesigns that you need to do to reload up. Okay? All right, so let's get to it. So our host is the domain that we're accessing. So this would be lickingheights.org. Okay? You need to make sure that you're spelling that correctly. Your username will be your last name if you have the same last name as someone else. So Heaven and Robert and Mirajan Bimal, you guys will all be your last name and then the first letter of your first name. So Price H, Price R, Tiwari B, Tiwari M. Okay, so mine is Walters, and then I'm going to put the @ lickingheights.org. Okay, that is your username. Your last name, unless you have some that's the same as everybody else, @lickingheights.org. Your password is going to be your student ID number, your same number that you use when you're in the lunchroom. Okay, so you would enter that in, and then you need to put port 21. Okay, so your password is your student ID number. Now, A lot of you guys have 5-digit, some of you have 4-digit. If you have 4-digit, it will be started with the 0 first. If you need to see more details on it, look to the email that I sent all of you. So if your student ID number was 1234, your password is 01234. Your password is so that you and only you have access to your subdomain folder to load and update any information that is in there. Okay, so after you have that, go ahead and hit Quick Connect. We're going to see that it's trying to log in. On our left side, this is our local. This is what we see on our computer. Okay, on our right, this is the remote site. There's a couple folders that you should see right here. You should see one that has just a slash, and then we see the CGI bin. Okay, we need to make sure that we are in the parent folder of our subdomain with the slash, not inside the CGI bin. Okay, if I was in the CGI bin, I should see nothing in there. If I'm in my parent folder, I should see that there's CGI bin, and then there might be another file in there that will say something like FTP quota. Okay, now on the left hand side, your local site, you are going to navigate to the same folder if you were using Dreamweaver. That is the folder where you put everything in. This is why it's crucial that everything is in one location, and it was working, because as soon as you move this onto FTP, stuff will start breaking if you were using absolute file links instead of relative to the folder that you're in. So my site, when I set up my site management, was walkthrough2, and this is where it's located at. It's in my projects folder. It's called walkthrough2, and I have all my files that I'm using for that. Okay, so what I need to do then in my Filezilla is I need to locate that. So I went into my projects folder, I went into my walkthrough2 and clicked on it. Okay, if I was in a different folder, I'm going to see different stuff, but I need to make sure that I'm in the correct folder. So this is my walkthrough2. I should see all of the folders, all the files. If you have individual folders in here, that's fine. You should see all of the files and folders that you see in here, or if you're on Atom, that you would see in your project structure. So I see all of those folders that I see in Filezilla right here. All I need to do, I'm going to click the first one, hold down the Shift key, click the bottom one, drag and drop. Okay, now it's going to start actually loading those files and running them. Here you need to wait for it to reach 100%. Depending on how large your files are, will depend on how long it's going to take. So if you have a whole bunch of like movies and stuff, that's going to take a while. You shouldn't be reaching a file size limit, but if you do, you got to let me know. Okay. Once this finishes, we should immediately be able to access our website and see if it's working. We should be able to access it on multiple devices, double check it, and that should be it. PHP, if you have PHP in your website, you're going to want to test it out to make sure that it's working. If it's not, you're going to have to send me an email so I know if I have to add PHP to your website if it doesn't automatically do it. So basically from this point on, we're testing the website, because if it starts looking bad on the different devices when you're actually on different devices, that's when you're going to have to start updating your media queries. Okay, so it's finished. I should show all of the successful transfers, that it's moved it to the remote, all of my files. Okay, I should see them over here on my remote. If I'm at that point and I was successful, then all I have to do is access my subdomain, which is my last name .lickingheights.org. If I hit refresh, now my web page loads. So I can start looking at it, seeing if it's resizing properly. Open this up on my phone, double check. This website is now 100% live. It is running. People could access this. They could do searches and find it. It's a live website. Okay. So if you load it up and you decide that you don't want to have it continue to be live, that's fine. You can pull it down on the last day of the course. You just have to let me know and I can delete your account, but you are going to have it up for a short period of time so that you can test and make sure that your media queries are working, everything else is working, all your links, you're double checking everything to make sure that everything is 100% operational with it being live. This would let you know if your site management is good, if you're putting everything in the proper locations, if you are correctly linking to all your stuff. So that's what you guys should be doing. You're testing that, your media queries. If there's issues with your media queries, they're not running how they're supposed to, you're going to need to fix your media queries so that it is. Okay? You will have access outside of this class to update your files using the same login and the same password that you have right now. You could update and change your files as you see fit. If, for whatever reason, after you moved your files, you are getting a 403 forbidden error, then double check that you didn't move all your stuff into the CGI bin. If you did move it into the CGI bin, then you're getting that error because it doesn't have, basically the server is saying that it can't find the files that you have, so you don't have access to them. So you need to make sure that you move them to the parent folder, which is not the CGI bin, but it's the one above it. So make sure you have it selected, not the CGI bin. So if you have it selected and everything's there, it should be running. If not, send me an email. All right, have fun, load all your stuff, double check, start going through your websites, making sure that they look good on all the devices, and good luck.